everyone, I'm here today to talk to you all about your makeup eye brushes. So this is all about anything to do with eyeshadow, eyeliner and brows. So in today's video I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the different shapes and sizes of brushes and why they work for different things. But again, I'm going to be using the Rae Morris brushes because I love them. If you watched the video from last week all about how to use your face brushes, you'll understand why. But into a short and sweet version, they are cruelty free, but they are still animal hair because they're ethically sourced. You can get into the details of it in the other video. I'm not going to go through it again today, but they are absolutely amazing, very, very beautiful, super soft, and they're made from a makeup artist perspective rather than from a consumer driven perspective because that's the way they've always been. So they work really, really, really well. So to get started, we're going to go through the three base brushes that I would use if I had only these brushes. This is what I would reach for. And they're brushes that you probably have seen a lot of before. And then the next three that I'm going to show you are something that's a little bit more advanced that I like, that are a bit more Rae specific as well, that are something that aren't in every single range. So you can check them out, see the shapes and sizes and kind of get an idea that way. To begin with, we're going to start with the shader brushes. So these are the little brushes that are short and sweet. They are a C shape on the top, and what they do is they place product. So these are really amazing for building up your color in a specific spot. These aren't going to give you a blended edge by placing it on the side, but if you do want to use it to smudge your eyeshadow, you can use the tip and you can smudge side to side to kind of smudge along your lash line, or they're amazing for also smudging out eyeliner pencil. So they're really great. You can also use it for smudging gel. I find that this is the one I reach for when I want to build up a bright color or a deep color and really get a lot of payoff. They're amazing with matte or shimmer shadows because there's no fallout, which is really great. It's an animal hair, so it's natural. It's not going to just dump a whole heap of product on your face and then give you fallout. So I definitely would reach for this brush if I was going to do, say, a smoky eye or something where I wanted a brighter color. Definitely one to have in your kit, whether it's this particular one or one of a similar shape and hair type. That is totally fine, but again, I'm a big fan of those brushes, so check out Rae's ones if you want to have a look. The next one is the number 8.5 from her collection. It's the Cream Shadow Shader. The reason why I reach for this one is because of the shape. So it's the same sort of shape as the shader brushes, the flat brushes, but the difference is that it's fluffy and it's got more length in the brush, so it's easier to use for blending. So this isn't super fluffy to the point that it's a big round kind of feather duster of a brush. It's still quite flat, so it doesn't actually have much depth, much roundness to the base of the brush. The difference with this one compared to, say, a round brush, say something like this, is that it's going to fit better in your crease because it's flat. So you can sit it right in your crease and blend right through here without a problem because it's not as round on the top, so you're going to get a little bit more precise. So this is fantastic for blending out anything like a smoky eye. It's also really great for blending out your crease, and I've used it for highlighting under my brow before, highlighting on my cheekbones, top of the lip, all that sort of stuff. A really great versatile blending brush. The next one in my must-haves would be the number 16 from Rae's new collection. So the other brushes that I had were from an older collection. These ones are her new collection. The way that I tell the difference is that the magnet is in the middle of the brush, whereas on her older collections it's a tip on the bottom. So if you ever have a look and you're like, oh, I don't know which one it's from, and new ones just have the little dot on the bottom, that's the new magnet. This is an angled brush. It's a really short angled brush. It doesn't have a great incline on the end of the brush. The sharper the incline on your angle brush, so the more it looks triangular rather than square with a cut top, the harder it is to control. So for this particular brush, it has not very much of an incline, which I find is fantastic because the tail of the brush, which is the longer end, doesn't have as much flimsiness to it. It's quite firm, so it's going to give you a beautiful sharp point. It's super, super fine. It's probably one of the finest angle brushes I've ever used ever. Been doing makeup 10 years and I've used hundreds of them, particularly doing bridal makeup. Eyeliner after eyeliner after eyeliner, this is the brush I would reach for. It's really, really beautiful. It's really soft. I like the fact that it also is a shorter brush, so it's only a short handle, so it's nice and light, and I find it works really, really, really well. So check that one out. I would use this for brows, eyeliner, eyeshadow that I want to keep nice and precise. It's also really great for setting your eyeliner that's on your waterline because it's got the flat top. You can kind of reach right in there and press it onto your waterline without any fallout or anything like that. So that's really, really great, that brush as well. So out of the, those are the three basic brushes. And the next three that I'm going to talk to you about are a little bit more fancy, something that might be a shape that you might not pick up at your local Priceline or Maya. These are ones that are things that you would find at a makeup shop. So something like Mecca, if you go into a makeup particular store or something, even I think Inglot have got similar shapes and stuff like that. But I find that the Rae brushes have just kind of blown it out of the park with these ones. So the three that I use that are not your average brush, that people might be like, oh, I don't really know if I'd use that brush, are these three here. So we've got a really large fluffy shader brush, we have a teardrop shaped blending brush, and we also have a flat topped precision brush. So the difference between these ones and these ones is that they're all slightly different shapes, and they all do slightly different things in a different way. So this is where Rae's collection really shines, because she's got brushes that make sense because the shapes are right, not just because you know, something's happened 20 years ago and that's how brushes were made. These are made for now and for our products as they are in our current climate. So for this particular brush, it's a number 7 Deluxe Point Shader. How this one works for me is I find that if I need to just reblend an edge, or I just want to get that edge that little bit softer, again and again and again, I reach for this brush. How I use it is, once all my eyeshadow's done, if I've got an edge or if I've got something that just doesn't quite look right, or I want to blend it more and make it softer, this brush with nothing on it or translucent powder on it, if you want to help blending, this is the brush I reach for. It's amazing. It's kind of like a little eraser in a brush. Really, really great for your eye makeup kit, because it means it's like an easy little cheat sheet, all in a brush, which is really fantastic. The next one that I really like is the number 9 Detail Point Shader. So this is another blending brush that I use quite often. I use this brush in particular when I'm lifting someone's eye, because it's really precise. So the tip is really nice and thin. It's really soft. I find it works really, really well under people's eyes as well, because they can look up and I can go right underneath without it being firm or scratchy. It's really, really soft. So this one's the Blue Squirrel Hair again, which is really fantastic. So the way I use this brush is, if you're looking directly into your mirror, I would always start underneath the eye here and lift out this way. So I'm not going all the way around like this, I'm going out that way, because the tip of the brush is giving you that perfect point, and that the tip of the brush on this particular one is super fine, but you've still got the fluffiness of the brush, the bristles around it. So you're gonna get a blended line, but you're still gonna get precision, and that's what makes it so amazing. Definitely something that I would have in my kit if I ever want to wing out a smoky eye, or if I ever want to blend out underneath to help give lift to my eye. Definitely, definitely, definitely something that I would have. And last but not least is this brush here. It's a number 17 from her new collection. It's a flat precision brush. So the way this one works, it can be an eyeliner brush, can be a brow brush, can be a cleanup brush. The way that I use it the most is to smudge in eyeliner on the lash line underneath, or to build up color underneath, because it's so precise. It's so little and tiny that the tips, they kind of almost feel like an angle brush, but without the slanted top. So I find this is really fantastic for giving absolutely perfect edges to my eyeliner. Once I've done it, I go in and clean up underneath, or clean up around my brows, edges of lips, all that sort of thing. But it's particularly fantastic for smudging into your eyelashes, where you get that little white gap between your waterline and your eyeshadow underneath. You can get in there, really smudge it out, and it's going to give you a perfect blend and build up your color without fallout. Definitely a brush that I would get if you like intensity underneath your eyes, or if you like to have a bit of extra arsenal in your kit to clean up under your eyeliner, under your brows, all that sort of stuff, to give you precise lines. This is a great brush, something that I would definitely have in my kit over and over and over again. So something like this sort of shape, they're often found and they're a lot wider. They're about 1 centimeter wide. They are really good as well, but I find they're just a bit big. These ones are really great because you can just get into those little nooks and crannies a lot easier. That is my edit for the eyeshadow brushes that I would use time and time and time again. These particular brushes I find are the ones that I can never live without. You know, they're just great shapes. These sorts of ones, particularly in the center, that are all those blending brushes, are going to give you nice, soft, amazing smoky eyes, blended out eye makeup, diffused halo shaped eyeshadow, anything like that that you want that doesn't have a sharp edge. You can never ever ever get enough of these brushes. So definitely have a look at that one. Building up your color, always use the little flat brushes. These guys are fantastic. And then anything precise, you want to look for things that are super fine, like Rae's brushes that have a perfect tip on them that comes into like paper thin. You want it to just disappear to nothing at that tip, because the more fine the tip of your brush is, the better your eyeliner and the better your brows, the better your line shape and your line work will be. So definitely have a look, check them all out, jump onto the Mecca website and take a look. But these are fantastic. So if you're looking for brushes and you just can't find anything, look for something that are in these sorts of shapes, and make sure you're looking for them with the right hair. Animal hair for anything that you don't want to have fallout and build up color, and anything that you want to be precise, lines, gels, anything that you're using with like liquid style products, definitely grab the synthetic brushes instead, because that will give you a better payoff. I hope this has helped, guys. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you next week with another video. Bye.